This is Lauren.
This is Trey.
And this
is the Partnership Podcast.
Good morning, good morning.
We don't start it that way anymore. Set my timer for 29 minutes.
What's the new way we start?
Hello, gentle audience.
You did that last week, and I was like, I love this. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, you were just talking with your friend about something, and I was like, wait, save it for the pod. Cheers.
Let's do it. Can we talk some shit?
Yeah. A couple weeks ago, we were in a local spot here in our town. I'm going to change a lot of these identifying characteristics.
They were black.
No, this is totally white behavior.
She's right.
So we can't change that piece.
My bad to my black brothers and sisters. My bad.
Anyway, here's the thing. Okay, it's juicy, but it is such a great teaching experience. So I've gotten divorced in this small town. Didn't know if anybody knew. It's like getting divorced in a fucking fishbowl because everyone can see what you're doing. Everyone is watching. Everyone knows. It's humiliating and incredibly freeing at the same time. I remember thinking, if I can survive here, like if I can do this and I can learn to truly be okay with anyone's perception of me because they're going to have it, I probably can survive anywhere in the world because almost everyone here knows me. And we only have a few cozy, cute spots to go to on a given night. And so you're bound to run into people who know previous versions of you. I say this on the regular at our spots, don't I? I'm like, that person changed my diapers. That person was a babysitter. That person...
Babe, when we get off the plane, 10 people on there.
It's a experience.
We're leaving soon. Soak
because
it up.
Of this, so that Lauren can...
Soak it up.
Expand, because I have not had that experience that most people have, which is leaving home to go to school or moving outside of their community. It's time. It's coming. So anyway, it's oftentimes that we run into people who have also walked through a separation or divorce in a spot like that one. And so a couple weeks ago, we ran into someone and we exchanged hugs, and then all of a sudden, this person started getting prank calls. We didn't know they were prank calls at first. I'm telling the story horribly.
Lauren's setting this up horribly.
Do you want me to
tell the story? Do you want me to do it since
yes.
I'm a
professional actor?
Man. Since I'm a man, I'll tell the story.
Yes, please, professional man, tell the story. This is a horrible story. I hope you're still here, gentle audience.
Do you want to
start the podcast over again?
I would have left. We're at the bar. We're at the corner of the bar. Behind us, there's some seating. The bartender comes over to the couple behind us and says, like, hey, there's a phone call for you. We're listening. Well, Lauren's, I pick up Lauren's eyes, and Lauren's listening to the conversation. And I hear something about a fire. Mm-hmm. Your apartment's on fire. And there's a little bit of concern, and then there's not, and then we go back to our conversation. And then I want to say 30 minutes later, the bartender comes back over and says, like, hey, you need to talk to them this time. But now we hear something about a flood. And I was like, what the fuck? And granted, also, you need to know this for context. There's 3 inches of snow on the ground and it's 30 degrees outside. Mm-hmm. So Lauren happens to get in a conversation with this person. And this person was like, yeah, first it was this, then it was that. And then I asked, like, where? And the caller said, your house or your apartment. And then the person said, what's the address? And then they got hung up on. So clearly at this point, it is prank calling, which is like prank calling on a landline. Love it. Shouts out to 20 years ago. And also, whatever. So we are now getting our jackets on. We're getting our beanies on. We're getting ready to leave. And a person comes to our side of the bar. And Lauren looks at me and says, this is about to get awkward. I don't know what's going on. This person, I recognize them, but I don't recognize them. And It's hugs, it's small talk. And then this person has like, you know how like polite eyes, where it's like they're a little wider than normal and they're a little like, you know, it's like, are they going to try to sell me timeshare? What's going on with these polite eyes? And also, you need to know this about me. I live in a city where there's a lot of like fundamentalist Christians. So at this point, I'm used to polite white eyes. And boy is it disconcerting for me. A lot of weird white people around here. So we give hugs because I go in for a handshake and this person's like, I'm a hugger. And I go, great. I do the hug, path of least resistance. I was willing to. I was willing to give a hug. And then Lauren's like, let's walk this way. There's two ways out of the bar. There's the short way and there's the long way. And Lauren now directs this person to go the long way, which they're sitting in the middle of the bar. And so we walk this person back to their seat. And then we say our goodbyes. It's maybe 10 or 15 seconds. And then we leave. And Lauren turns to me and she goes, holy fucking shit. And I'm still in the dark about what's going on. She goes, guess who that was? And I go, I have no idea. And that was the person behind us who was getting the phone calls, the prank phone calls, who was on a date. That was their ex-partner. And collectively, we go, what the fuck? So unsolicited, just to recap everything. Prank phone calls behind us. Clearly nonsense. As we're leaving, unsolicited, we get a little visitor. And then that person happens to be the other's ex-partner who was on a date. Go ahead, honey.
At best, it's childish. At worst, it's bullying and harassment.
Assuming that person was responsible or had something to do with the prank phone calls.
Mm-hmm. I was messaging with the person behind us because the other piece is I know the person who was sitting behind us on the date. And not like dear friends, but enough that there was, you know, an embrace when they came in. And I know some of the story. And yeah, they are pretty convinced that it was that.
Okay.
Said that they didn't even see that their ex-partner was sitting at the bar until after the second phone call, and then saw and then was like, oh, okay.
And then that ex-partner came and inserted themselves into the ecosystem of the ex.
Not okay.
They weren't there. That person wasn't there to see us. No. It was to put themselves in the ecosystem. Mm-hmm.
Especially because we were coating up. The reason we even made eye contact was we were putting on coats to leave. It would have made a lot of sense to just wave or wait till we walked by them. Yeah, if we took the long way out, sure. But yeah, it was wild. I mean, it was like a television sitcom script, for sure. And
I don't know who that person was. I haven't seen that person, I'm assuming, in years. Mm-hmm. And then I'm assuming that person wouldn't have said hi to me because we don't have any type of rapport together.
No. They follow me on the socials, so they're aware of comings and goings and your interactions with me. And,
cool.
Yeah, so I think parasocial is wild too. Like, you know, have followed around.
Cool. Also, person, if like you ever hear this, I'll tell you to your face. That was fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like, what was your actual intention?
Yeah.
And hey, I'd invite you to ask yourself if you're full of shit.
So you brought up the reason I even wanted to tell this story, which we all got him, is I believe, because I'm crazy me, that these things happen and then we can say, wow, that was wild, and or we can also learn and discuss from it. And so what you had said right before we got in the chairs to a friend of yours on Marco Polo was, and then I wondered, have I ever done that? And I have. And I said, ooh, I want to hear that story. And then you looked at me and you were like, you've done it too. And I am sure I have. So I'd love to talk about ways in which we have done this in past versions or maybe current versions. Here's the thing, y'all. I believe we all are human and fuck up and make mistakes and do things that we're like, wow. I don't aim for a world in which we are all perfect, flawless human beings. I aim for a world in which we can go, wow, I used to do that. And now I am working to repair those old patterns of behavior. I have tools. I seek to do better. I take accountability and I move on. Our culture so loves to cancel. I'm not here for that. But I am also not here for us just glossing over and not getting to say, that's not okay. It's not okay to do that. And I got to tell that person when we were messaging last night, like, I want to validate to you that was, they used the word childish. And I said, yes, yeah. And then they said embarrassing. And I said, embarrassing for them, not for you. I want you to know that you have no need to be embarrassed. They were so embarrassed because what starts to happen is we feel embarrassed because of our connection to a person who does things like that.
Sure.
Right? We feel mortified that we were previously partnered to them.
It's a reflection.
Of course. And I said, no, need you to know. No need to feel embarrassed. Feel validated that behavior was witnessed. Sure. But for the sake of this conversation, I would love for us both to share examples of when we've done something similar. And because I just think it's good for us all to remember no one is above reproach. We are humans. And just because we do bad things or inappropriate things doesn't make us bad people. And I'm here for accountability and growth and growing up and being like, wow, yeah, I did that before. That was not my intent, but I understand the impact. Anyway, did you think of something?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then while you're talking, I'll think as well.
So originally when I was learning how to like court and date a woman, because women and men flirt in different ways, where a woman who is interested in you will insert themselves into your bubble. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Either through like socials, like, hey, just thinking about you, or I don't know, liking a profile. I don't know if that resonates with anyone. Mm-hmm. Or literally at a bar coming into your physical space.
Yeah.
Where they won't necessarily come up and talk to you directly, but they'll insert themselves just like that person did in our story. So I learned that, and that's why it was such a big turnoff hearing about it last night. Because that is hey, notice me, I'm here. Mm-hmm. And then my personal story is I met this girl at a bar. We ended up going home together. It was a one-night stand. It was like lovely. It was a connection. We exchanged numbers. This is 15 years ago. It was, I think we texted or we messaged or we talked. We're supposed to go out again. It was a cancel. Couldn't get her back on the phone. No big deal. Saw her at a bar with who I found out was her long-term boyfriend. I don't know if they were on a break. I don't know if she was cheating on him. I remember just feeling used. So I went up to both of them. I inserted myself. Mine was a lot more direct than a prank call. And it wasn't, I didn't bust her, but it was a definitely, hey, I'm here. I don't remember if was she a barista? She might have been a barista. So I was like, oh, hey, you're the barista. It was one of those things. Yeah, she might have worked at a coffee shop on, one of the local coffee shops. So I was like, oh, hey, you work there. And that was my little cute, little bullshitty, little jab. And that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't say, hey, we slept together. Why didn't you call me back? Yeah, that was me inserting myself.
I don't typically do that. Yeah.
Oh, and then there was another one where it was like I was early 20s and this girl I was in love with, and we had a lovely summer tryst. And then she was going back to college, and then she's like, I don't want this to continue, and I couldn't accept that. And so it was stalker type behavior where it was like, 15 phone calls in a row, shit like that, to get her on the phone. It was very unhealthy behavior. I might have not been 21. And it's what it was.
Yeah.
And then looking back, it's,
Right.
oh, that's not great behavior. But sometimes our brains break. And like you were saying, they're allowed to. You're allowed to make mistakes. My big issue is when you don't acknowledge, own them, repair, and then strive to not repeat them. Ignorance and stupidity. I was ignorant to that at the time. I'm no longer ignorant. And I haven't repeated it since, so that means I'm no longer stupid. Or if I were to repeat that behavior while knowing it's not acceptable and it's damaging, I'd be stupid. What's one of yours, babe?
Before I go to mine, I just want to say I think it's also really interesting. You are beautifully critical of yourself. And did you have any examples of dating, partnership, romantic connection in a healthy way?
I learned how to do all that in my 30s.
Yeah, I just, yes, all of those things. Yes, it's unhealthy behavior. And yet the primary sources of education that we all get is like rom-coms. I mean,
yeah.
And what our friends are doing, and
it's the opposite, where it's the man pursues,
Right.
and the woman finally like, oh, this guy really likes me. It doesn't work like that in reality.
Right.
That is romantic comedy. It's, what is it? It's learning how to drive watching Fast and the Furious.
Yes.
It is not indicative. It's learning how to have sex with porn.
so
It's not indicative of reality.
Ding, ding.
What you need to do as a man is you actually need to have passions. You need to have missions. You need to be busy as hell making yourself better or making your community better. And then a woman comes along who can add to that your already wonderful life. And then if a woman gives you signs of I'm not interested, you listen to those, because why would you want to pursue someone who's not interested in you? You listen to those signs. So going back, telling my 20-year-old self, hey, this is okay because she's traveling back to college 650 miles away. If you really are interested in this girl, and if you really value what you had together, what you would say is, I completely understand. Give me a call when you're in town on your break. And then you go live your life, and also you go date other women.
Yes.
And guess what she's going to do? She's going to wonder about you.
Yes.
And she's going to feel so seen and heard in her choice, like being accepted. And that's not something I knew how to do at that time. So that's why I hop in the DeLorean. I send myself back, my 41-year-old self back, gray pubes and all, and say, hey, buddy, fucking listen to me. I mean, and then while I'm having this back and forth with my 20-year-old self, he's still a very resistant, reluctant shithead. Let's get back to this one.
No, it's beautiful. And so we know me. I love me some compassion and curiosity. And it doesn't get us anywhere to just be mean and blame these younger versions of ourselves, which is why I wanted to use this story, this experience, as a teaching opportunity, because most humans aren't out there intentionally being mean and stupid. Mm-hmm. There are people, but I don't think it's actually that often. Okay, my example is also a shunned moment. Yeah. And I had a lover, had an experience, and was in another city, and it's like this was before any of the time where I could understand the difference between recreational and relational sexual encounters. And so this was in my wonderful slut era. I didn't have terms for anything. And I was still so attached to this idea that if I've slept with you, wouldn't you want to like marry me? Because that was in my mind so like wrapped up together that if you sleep with someone, you want to marry them, right? And
We're boyfriend and girlfriend
right.
now.
Now we are. So I didn't know any better. But so I was just so shunned. And so then there was another opportunity to see one of my lovers, which I would never have called a lover then, right? Because I was too full of shame. And so I went to a thing where they were performing or something, I think thinking that they would be so happy I was there. Are we all cringing? I hope we're all cringing because I'm cringing. But it was like me and 5 other people that this person had also been with. We're all so
Quite the performer, dead-on.
So then it's like the time after whatever the performance was. I don't even remember the performance. All I remember is the time after where everybody's standing around having a drink. And it's like all of these same kind of like archetypes of me. And we're just all standing around having conversations.
Oh, no.
But
Bunch of Eskimo sisters standing around.
yes,
Did you know? Did you have knowledge?
I could feel it. And I was like, I mean, if I can feel
Were
this.
they all there for the same thing?
I think so.
This person must have been quite the performer.
Must have been.
On stage and off.
It's literally making my stomach churn at the moment. But
Okay.
instead of making my stomach churn or giggling and enjoying it and saying we all have a right to recreational sex or getting to know these other incredibly like vibrant, brilliant women, I just felt shunned. And I felt butthurt and I felt rejected and I felt, I'm trying to think of all of the memories. Yeah, really unchosen, right? And yeah, just the forced, the placing myself in that space, just everything felt so forced, and it like took so much work for me to do that and be there.
Yeah.
That I just,
And it didn't get rewarded.
yeah, I don't want to go back and say, hey, shithead, or whatever you said to your younger self. I want to go back as this version of me and come in and be so excited to see this younger me. Be like, Lauren, oh my God. And pull her away to like a fun corner or be like, let's go get a drink across the street and choose her and be like, you're so fabulous.
You want to send me back? I could wear my blue suit.
Mm-hmm. I think it's important that she choose herself first without a man. I think that I was so, that's what I wanted to define my worth and my value, was being chosen by a person in a male body. Mm-hmm. And that wasn't who I needed to be chosen by. I needed to be chosen by myself.
Thank you for sharing that. I think it's probably not unique at all. I think it's very common that both of our stories were tied with a first time, an experience, how we thought it should be, and then we both send our future selves back who have wisdom and tools and have been around the block. Not sexually. I mean, like, well, sexually, but experience is what I meant. But that is a sexual term.
We've been around the block.
We celebrate sluthood in this house.
Yeah.
Thank you. And figuring it out on your own is really hard. And both of us went and got tooled up. Mm-hmm. And we seeked out professional advice, aka mentorship, aka coaching, to get where we are. Like I had to do maybe hundreds of hours of work in order to date the woman of my dreams, which is you, and start dating the women that I wanted to before we decided to, click up. And
And then once we got into partnership, whole nother layer.
Yeah,
of
it doesn't
work,
stop.
right?
It doesn't.
Like,
You don't get
yes,
to
you
kick your
learned
feet
how
up.
to date, but then you developed school skills and are still developing skills to stay in and to continue co-creating a magical relationship. It doesn't just stop. It's not like once you win the girl, it's all over. It's this consistent effort that is so beautiful and worthy. I was telling clients the other day that the things that I love the most, I put effort into. Cooking for these holidays, right? When we have all of our most precious loved ones hosting and cooking for our dearest on these winter holidays is some of our most treasured work. And it takes effort. And I am willing to put in the effort because it reaps the most beautiful reward.
The things I love the most, I put effort into. And I have a big old sobering view that it's always changing. I don't know the best because I've been doing it for a long time, and you got to keep up with it.
Yeah.
We had some conversations last night at the bar before we got polite-eyed, and yeah, it was about some things that I was feeling into. And they weren't rational, but I wanted to share them, and it was this sense of being left behind. Like financially. Because Lauren's business is thriving right now, and we did a ceremony a couple of weeks ago where it's like, baby, you're now most likely the primary breadwinner. And we're handing that torch over to you, which I knew was coming. And the conversations that we had yesterday evening were about, again, like, I need to say this many, many times. These are not rational. You do not put this on me. I don't eat Doritos all day and not work. But it's the thought of being left behind and not contributing, which, I'll say it again, is irrational. But it's there, and I wanted to declare it and say it out loud to you. And then, like, you don't have to, honey, but, like, thank you for putting the words over me that you did, reassuring me that, like, that's not what's going on. So, I mean, thank you. It helps me. It helps me to say it out loud. It helps me to label it as, like, irrational. And, like, thank you for helping me.
You are so welcome. I want to talk about two things. One, your beautiful synopsis of effort that is continually evolving as relationship evolves, especially chosen long-term partnership, because this issue that we are having right now, right, this beautiful, sensitive, tender spot that we are navigating right now in 2025, very different from the issue we were navigating in 2022,
Yeah.
which I'm going to revisit. So this fantasy or this story that so many of us believe, wherein we put in effort one time, we don't need to put any effort in anymore, is not based in reality, because hopefully relationships are becoming and evolving and growing. And so the effort that you and I are having to apply, and the creativity and the use of thought and compassion and kindness this is necessary effort because we're in a different season of life. And so this assumption that I think many people have, wherein, okay, we get tooled up and then we're good. I'm like, hopefully you're going to keep growing. And so I'm just so proud of you for the transparency that you are communicating with, the verbiage you have given yourself to even share something like you did last night. Because I've been there. Let's go back in time. So for those who might just be joining us on this adventure that is the Partnership Podcast, when my business launched in January of 2022, Trey was the sole investor. So when we met, was working for a large nonprofit because my nonprofit had been acquired. I don't know why I said it like that. Acquired. And it was a gift galore. I was getting to direct my program. I was getting to work in comms and marketing for this nonprofit that I loved. I was a earning money woman. The plan pre-COVID had been to plant chapters of my program around the country. We were like moving and grooving. It was amazing. COVID hit, like everyone else in the world. Everything started to be reassessed. Somewhere in there, Trey started saying, babe, these things that you have learned, I really think would help people. Like, have you ever considered, Trey's money gate and human design, like doing this for other people? Like the things you read, the way you found me, the way our relationship is being built. Have you considered that that could be a thing? And I'd be like, yeah, sure, right? But in the back of my head, I'm thinking, I'm already doing my dream job. I loved my work at that point. So then Trey leaves me and goes back to his homeland because LA was getting hit incredibly hard. And I'm alone here in Virginia. I start dating another man. It is a great experiment in this is what it looks like to date a person who's not your life partner. And I'm on a date with this other man, and I get a text from Trey that says, hey, how is that sexuality education business going? No lie. I hadn't even thought of it in months because pandemic, we were all just trying to survive. And I think I just responded, it's been planted underground and it's just there. It's like a seed. And he responds back, you can do anything you want to do, and you will succeed, and you are made for this. You just make sure you have someone at your side who believes in you and who also knows that you can do anything you want to do. Folks, gentle audience, the man that I was on a date with wanted me to move to his farm and have another baby with him. And I was willing to give up so many of the things that I had dreamed in these quiet spaces. So I broke things off with that guy. And there's a lot more to the sexy romantic story, but I'm just staying on the work story. Trey and I start going back and forth. Before I even fly to him, I Google holistic sexuality education. I'm like, is that a thing? Sure enough, it is a thing. And there was a program, and I had an interview with them in the parking lot around the corner on my phone on Zoom. Told me what I needed to do to apply. And I am pretty sure by the time I came to Trey in LA for the first time mid-pandemic, I was already accepted into the program. And then I began work in school simultaneously while running my nonprofit program in January of 2021. So I was in school during 2021. Mid-2021, I knew in my bones that I needed to wrap up my nonprofit career and start what is now known as Sex Ed for You, because of the amazing things I was learning. And I was like, this is not just about sex. This is about everything. This would change people's lives. Because if we had these tools to communicate sexually, if we had this understanding of our sexual values and our love ethics, oh my God, this could transform the world. I think that if we were all having better sex, we would be better people. So I tell Trey, I think I need to do this. He's like, of course you need to do this. And so he tells me, yes, I've got us. I've got us financially. Wrap up at the end of the year at 2021 and put 100% of you into this business in 2022. But prior to that, kind of the last few months of the year, maybe the last 6 months of the year, I would get up at 5 a.m. and I would work on what is now known as Sex Ed for You prior to work starting. Then I would go to work. And every morning I I would get up and do that, building the website, building what my appointment booking software would look like, building out my methodologies and my philosophies and my positionality statements and my faith and sexuality statements. I mean, everything that you all now say is so robust on that website is because of those hours in the morning. But when I launched in January 2022, I had not a single client. And it felt horrifying that I would be mooching off of you, that I would not be contributing. So many of the things that you said at the bar last night have come out of my mouth. And you never made me feel bad. Instead, countless podcast episodes of you would say, hey, can we check back in? I want to bring you into this conversation. I'm not interested in supporting us financially alone forever, you would say. So now you're bringing in some money. Can you contribute 20% to the mortgage instead of 0%? Okay, now can you? And there are documented episodes where I freak the fuck out because I feel like I'm disappointing you. I feel like if I can't contribute 100%, I'm not contributing enough. So many shadowy bits that you just lovingly guided me through. And so I just marveled last night as we sat there because I was just thinking, here we are into 2025. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk? Probably you, because you believed in me more than I believed in myself. But I got you, babe. I got you. And I was telling Trey last night that I don't know how many years has this been. I could now solely, you could just stop paying the mortgage and I could pay for like years and years now. And you still it still wouldn't have caught up for the financial load that you carried for us. And then there's probably some interest that should be in there just purely on the belief you had in me.
No. No, this is not. No. Thank you so much. Also, no. This is not a loan. It was never structured that way.
I know, but do you hear what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Some of it was just
to be clear,
an investment of belief. A lot of go get 'em bros, a lot of butt taps, a lot of like bro energy. There's a podcast all about that too. Go find it.
Can I share why I did it?
Yeah.
I mean, this is my ego talking, but boy, do you make me look right. Like, I never had a doubt. You're a workhorse. And I saw all of the effort that you were putting into your nonprofit. And my thought was, you can do this for yourself and you can build this thing. And being a person that built a business from nothing, understood that it's going to take a year or two. You have to grind. You have to be lean as fuck at the beginning, but then it compounds and like you get over the bell curve. And then it's like, holy shit, this is a thing that's sustaining. This is sustainable and it's based on quality. And I knew you could produce quality. And I just know you don't half-ass things. And then you don't have to do it for someone else. Your ability doesn't have to serve someone else. It can serve yourself and then your people. So thanks for making me look smart.
Welcome. One of the things we didn't lean into last night, and I'm so glad this came up because I had literally forgotten and it was such a precious conversation, was, do you think there's any gendered shadowy bits at play, right? Of a lot of my clients and I will talk all about this, like the provision idea that man is to provide for his family. Do you think there's any of that? You didn't grow up with that. That doesn't usually show up for you, but I did want to ask, does it feel emasculating at all?
Gendered, no. Emasculating, no. It's the shadow side of accepting. If we're going to go to Dr.
Cool.
Betty Martin's Wheel of Consent or quads, accept. Where you're doing it's for me. So it's the shadow side of that which is freeloading.
Yeah.
Where it's like, am I a freeloader or am I not contributing? Am I not doing enough?
Yeah.
And it's just something I don't know. It's like when you swish water in your mouth. So it's something I'm swishing over. And working through, or I'm just letting the wave fucking pass. Because that's not, Jesus, I feel like a fucking broken record. That's not reality.
Honey, it's beautiful. Please be a broken record. It needs to be said over and over again. I'm also going to coin swishing over because that was good.
What it is it's new.
Yeah.
And it's part of our ceremony of like, hey, babe, congratulations. You are now the breadwinner in this house. It also doesn't mean I stopped. I didn't close doors. And it doesn't mean I'm going to have better months or weeks than you also.
Right.
Because mine's based on commission. So and I do very well. And I mean, good for me. So, yeah, it's new. And it gets to kind of like bounce around in odd places.
Cool. So it doesn't feel attached to gender norms at all in your body.
I didn't grow up with that.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up with all that shit. And
didn't
I
think
grew up
so.
with a woman a
Right.
woman that was the sole breadwinner in
breadwinner.
the house. And then I grew up like seeing a man like constantly not pay child support and then having to go to court. So
Yeah.
I grew up on the other side of like
Women work hard, men abstain
men are
from responsibility.
cunts. I grew up on
Yeah.
why are you being a cunt? This is for me, dickhead.
But here's a question in the Romancing the Shadow book. I don't remember if it's the print version or the audio version where they get to this. Sometimes our little selves will pledge something to our bigger, like,
Yeah,
I
get
will
that.
never be this type of man. Mm-hmm. Does it feel at all connected to that?
There was never any financial things. That had to do with rage toward other people.
Yeah.
So that's how because I didn't break the family curse. I just put it in the closet because rage got pointed toward me.
Yep.
I learned how to cycle that right into me, which is now I'm breaking that family curse.
I read a thing in the fantasy bond. Remind me to tell you that, then show you.
Yeah, family curse has been. Can we do an episode maybe next week on breaking the family curse and all these different archetypes of like, holy shit.
Fuck yes.
Because it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Because it's like if you grow up with a lot of money, then it's entitlement.
Right.
Or being a douchebag.
Right.
Yeah. So it comes in all forms.
It does.
Addiction, violence, politeness.
Trey's favorite. Here in our small town.
Yeah.
Polite eyes. We see them every day, all day. Okay, so it doesn't feel gendered. For any of you out there listening, it often is a conversation I have with so many of my incredible clients. Shout out. This money piece comes up often. It is often tied to, but it's a man's job too. Even if it is no longer a belief that they align with. And so we'll do a lot of garden weeding around this narrative, this script, that egalitarian relationships don't need to look at that, like that. Why'd you make that face?
I want to sleep with you.
In my little rose-colored outfit. Or
No,
my
I just like,
crimson.
I was like,
I gave you an opportunity.
I took the opportunity this morning. I want to sleep with you again, honey. Again. Addiction, family curse.
That's part of the addiction family curse. Yeah, I think that was really, I'm so glad we brought that up, but I wanted to applaud you. This is something that I'm noticing in Trey. You are bringing things up so readily that you have no answers to, that you are, yes, just swishing around like water in your mouth, that you are bringing forward so that they don't sit in your body. So then I can swish around with you and sit in there and be like, is this worth adjusting something? Should we alter a behavior? Do we need comfort? Do we need cuddles? Do we need affirmation? Do we need change?
Yeah.
And I don't, probably that has to do with me as well, because lie invitee, right? When I used to cry and gnash the teeth whenever we'd have money discussions, that didn't exactly lend itself to you coming to me with some of these more tender topics. But as I have been able to heal some of those old wounds and generational curses, I am sure subconsciously it has given more permission to have some of these conversations.
We repair, it gets easier.
Yeah, it does. And there's still effort. Oh, sorry, I never got to finish this thought earlier. I think oftentimes people are embarrassed to seek out work with me or work with a therapist or work with another mentor or coach, because in some place in their body that is conflated with failing. If I was doing this all well, I wouldn't need to bring on an educator, a coach, a therapist, a mentor. I cry bullshit. I think that the things that we love the most, we put effort into, and that it is a symbol of health and maturity to bring someone along with you. And I just want every brave soul who listens to this podcast to know you are the bravest and my most favorite type of person, that I never take it lightly that you book consults with this random woman on the internet. And I find it so admirable that people seek me out to grow and become. And never am I approaching a consult or work with you like, oh God. No, I am enthralled with your bravery and your courageousness as I am with Trey's, and hopefully as I am with myself, that we get to grow and become. No one ever tells us we have to. That's trauma-informed care. But we get to grow and become. And what an honor it is for me to sit with you. What an honor it is to be your partner in life. And I may be financially all of a sudden out earning us. Wow. But the growth that you're going through right now, I meant it at the bar last night when I said, whoa, please stay in that track. Like, it is sexy as hell. I am turned on consistently by what you're learning. I would so much rather you put your time and effort and money into, more like pro trainings and more this and more that than trying to make more money to keep up with me right now. No. Mm-hmm. Please do the self-study. It is highly, highly attractive so that you can be like stimulating me here. We don't need more money. We don't. We are fine. We live in middle of Central Virginia. We will make that work. I desire to be stimulated intellectually and turned on in that way. And that could have totally been an option, right? Like, I totally could have out-learned you because I am a voracious reader, but you are keeping up, if not I was like, wait, what are these shadow books on the table? Mm-hmm. What is going on with this? That's hot to me. So hot to me. I don't care about the other part. But your mind is hot right now.
Thank you. Can I do my, you should seek therapy to straight men? Can I do mine?
Yes, go.
Just speaking to the straights. What's up, bitch? Okay, so have you ever used like Google Maps or Apple Maps or something on your phone? Why? Because you don't know where the fuck you're going. So that's the same thing. You could try to figure it out on your own, but that would make you stupid. Get over yourself. You've had coaching in the past. Consider it because it's really helpful, and then find somebody you trust. Like, find somebody where the vibe's there. And then you might have some like aha light bulb moments. And then plenty of guys don't have time for coaching and therapy. And they don't have money for it either. But they manage to find the time and money for the divorce lawyer. Best of luck to you. You can do whatever you want.
Thanks for coming to this episode of the Partnership Podcast with Lauren and Trey. Remember to take what you like, leave the rest. You have a right to informed decision-making and self-determination. If anything that we said here today on our many different conversations sparked your curiosity and you want to talk about what it would look like to work with someone like me, you can go to sexedforyou.com/free consult to request some time with me. Oh, keep in mind, that these are our opinions and our opinions only. I thought we were getting Develop A by Trey early. There it is. These are our opinions only. Yeah, again, take what you like, leave the rest. And we will talk to you soon. Oh, like, share, subscribe. We're so glad you guys are here. Don't do that. Don't do that, Trey says. Thanks for being here. Bye, everybody.